8, 9, 10. Let Me Tell You by Charles Bukowski. Hell is built piece by piece, brick by brick, around you. It's a gradual, not a rapid process. We build our own inferno, blame others, but hell is hell. Worldly hell is hell, my hell and your hell, our hell, 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 the song of hell. Putting your shoes on in the morning. Hell. Let's have one more. That was a short one. Here's a classic from Bukowski. This is called My First Computer Poem. Have I gone the way of the deathly death? Will this machine finish me where booze and women and poverty have not? Is Whitman laughing at me from his grave? Does Creeley care? Is this properly spaced? Am I? Will Ginsberg howl? Soothe me. Get me lucky. Get me good. Get me going. I am a virgin again. A 70-year-old virgin. Don't fuck me, machine. Do. Who cares? Talk to me, machine. We can drink together. We can have fun. Think of all the people who will hate me at this computer. We'll add them to the others and continue right on. So this is the beginning, not the end. Maybe one more random selection. I don't know about that one. I don't know that we have peace right now. Such luck might be inappropriate. Hunk of rock. So many of these poems are like a lot of whiskey. Here we go. One more for you. Death is smoking my cigars. You know, I'm drunk once again here, listening to Tchaikovsky on the radio. Jesus, I heard him 47 years ago when I was a starving writer, and here he is again. And now I'm a minor success as a writer, and death is walking up and down this room, smoking my cigars, taking hits of my wine, as Tchaikov is working away at the pathetic. And it's been some journey, and any luck I've had was because I'd rolled the dice right. I starved for my art. I starved to gain 5 goddamn minutes, 5 hours, 5 days. I just wanted to get the word down. Fame, money, didn't matter. I wanted the word down. And they wanted me at a punch press, a factory assembly line. They wanted me to be a stock boy in a department store. Well, death, as he walks by, I'm going to get you anyhow, no matter what you've been. Writer, cab driver, pimp, butcher, skydiver. I'm going to get you. Okay, baby, I tell him. We drink together now, as 1 a.m. slides to 2 a.m., and only he knows the moment, but I worked a con on him. I got my 5 damn minutes, and so much more. So there you go, Charles Bukowski from The Last Night of the Earth Poems. Seems kind of fitting these days, right? The Last Night of the Earth. But it's not just me this morning. We're also joined by Dan, who's all masked up. I'll bet that sounds good. How's it going, Dan?
Greetings, Earthlings and Bitcoinlings.
Mumble,
this
mumble,
is how I'll be
mumble.
seen for the foreseeable.
You should stick it in a pussy.
I thought I'd try, and I've been harping on about the how thinking that masks do seem to be much better based on the information we have. So I thought I'd try and set an example and see if I can do it, but also to see if I can do it and watch it again later and see how many times I touched my face.
Oh, you're going to touch your face a lot because you're going to sweat right through that thing. So also, I don't know how good the audio is going to be, but we'll give it a try. We'll let Dan be a masked man for a while. We've got a lot of stories today. Let's go ahead and get started today. Today is Friday, April 3rd, 2020. My name is Thomas Hunt, joined by Dan. and this is the Thomas Hunt Show. Thanks so much for giving us a thumbs up down below. I saw a lot of fans showed up early to give us a thumbs down. Thanks so much to that, too. That really shows dedication, Holmes. Our top story today, the price of Bitcoin is suddenly, and just in the last few minutes, down 3.2% in the last 24 hours. With a last of 6,700, a high of 7,283, and a low of 6,686. That's $1 for 14,945 Satoshis. Check it right here on the Bitcoinal chart. You can add dollar to Satoshi as your alternate currency. Right here, you go to menu, alternate currency, Satoshis per dollar. Boom. Now you know the exact price of Satoshis per dollar at all times. How did this program add such an intuitive and useful feature? Well, I asked. Shout out to DJ Booth, who added my suggestion, Satoshis per dollar, to the Bitcoinal chart. Check out Bitcoinal. It's like a seasonal Bitcoin chart. So right now we went down a little bit, and as you can see, the chart's turned to fall, and it's got kind of a wintry look, like winter might be coming. You can click on the honey badger, it'll make little noises. You can use the leaf blower to clean up all these leaves. So it's a pretty useful Bitcoin chart, pretty fun time. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 1.96% in the last 24 hours, with a last of 20,999, below a previous close of $21,413. And as you recall, yesterday, the Dow Jones did spike up around 3% on news that the president had allegedly spoken to Russia and Saudi Arabia, and at the time it was believed he'd agreed they'd gotten a deal to increase oil production and stop ruining the oil market. However, later on that turned out to be just hope. So now we're down. Checking out coronavirus cases worldwide, previously around yesterday, it was around 966,000, 49,000 deaths, just tapping on the million and the 50,000 big round numbers. Here comes a refresh. 1,062,233 coronavirus cases in the world. That's 56,570 deaths. Deaths kicking up about 10% there, another 6,000 out of nowhere. And of course, coronavirus cases worldwide now over 1 million. Kind of feels like an Oscar moment, Dan. It's been an incredible journey. We've battled so much to get here. Thanks to everyone for not wearing masks. Thanks to everyone for not taking it seriously. Everyone who called it the flu, we want to give a shout out to you. You helped make this possible when you underestimated this bold new virus. I know a lot of people out there didn't think coronavirus could do it. They doubted us. They didn't think that we could get to 1 million. They didn't think, people didn't believe. I remember being in the gutter, just a coronavirus trying to spread, trying to get our first kill. And, we've just come a long way, baby. Like this coronavirus thing, 1 million infected. I think we could go to the moon. I think coronavirus could go to the moon. Dan, what do you think? Are you proud of the coronavirus journey? Obviously, 1 million infected is incredible milestone.
I'd like to thank my mom, also known as Mother Nature, for giving me to the world. I'm unusable. No, yeah, it's pretty savage, isn't it? When it hits a milestone like that, 1 million is a lot, and 50,000, they're all both on the same sort of count. It looks like we're going up in like compounded, like 10% sort of daily at the moment, which is it's very worrying, and especially with countries that are very, again, as we said, is densely populated. They were very late on reducing travel. Hopefully they don't see the effect there, or at least by the time it starts to spread, we've got a lot better knowledge on how to remedy or at least subdue, delay coronavirus and the impact on people's health, so that the establishments like hospitals can actually take the load.
I just want to thank the Academy, and good night, everybody. Oh well, we got to keep going. More news. Stay home. The coronavirus hates it when you stay home. 30 of the United States now have rules that you should stay the fuck home. So that's 30 out of 50. So bad luck if you're in one of the other 20. We used to have a national government, not so much anymore. Wear a fucking mask. We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now. A mask is better than nothing. We agree, sure. A cardboard mask or a mask made out of underwear or maybe a t-shirt or a shoe or these kind of things. Maybe they're not as good as an N95 mask or a vacuum cleaner bag, which I'm told is fantastic.
If you it's a breathe thing, isn't it? So at the end of the day, it's a lung infection. It wasn't pneumonia. It's a lung condition. So if you've got anything in front of your mouth, you're going to be reducing those particles, even if it's like a ball gag. So at the very least, if you've got no scarves, you've got no N95 mask, whack a ball gag in there, a sock, an apple. Just walk around like a stuffed pig, waiting for your your spit roast, as it were. But yeah, at least you've got something that's stopping you from taking in a load of ding dong.
Fun fact: more than 30% of these officers are also wearing a ball gag. 1918 pandemic right here in the United States. How did they beat the 1918 pandemic? They wore masks. You don't have to be an idiot to figure that out. Shout out to Young Cheong, J Cheong 0428 on Twitter. He's inspired by Larry Salibra and, of course, Balaji's efforts on supporting mask wearing in public. He's got an app that will automatically take your photo and slap a mask on it. Right here you can see the crew of the Big Bang Theory all wearing their own wear a fucking mask. So if you didn't have a chance to make your own mask yet, you can do maskonme.Heroku app. It's a pretty popular site, so check that out. It's also on the Mad Bitcoins Twitter account. Balaji also has one. It's funny, it must take the same amount of days to make these things. Balaji's one is called twittermask.com, and you can check that out. You can also go to masksforall.co. Here's an example: President Barack Obama. You can even change the color of your mask. So very cool. Check these out. If you didn't want to Photoshop it, you can now create your own masked profile image at twittermask.com or at maskonme. Check out the links on Twitter.
So on the mask thing, just very quickly.
Go ahead.
So my mum was saying that my auntie started. She made, she's in Malta, and she started making masks. She's a bit of not a bit of a seamstress. That sounds a bit odd, doesn't it? She's a bit of a seamstress.
She dabbles in seamstressly.
She dabbles in a bit of streamstressly.
She's a consonant seamstress.
But she has got this great idea. I've not seen it on anything else. Every single mask she's doing, she's got multiple points, because I touched it once, literally seconds after mentioning it. But so you can pull them, and so you're not actually touching the actual mask itself. You've got like kind of strings where you can adjust it. I think that's a really clever little idea.
It's also important to be careful when you're taking off and on your mask. Like we discussed yesterday, you pretty much have to wash your hands almost immediately. If you touch your mask,
fist in your mouth.
Yeah, don't just take the mask off, put it in your mouth. That would be a mistake. Like, you're trying to use it as a barrier. So it does take extra thought. And is it annoying? Is it like being a spaceman? Is it like going through an airlock? Most definitely it is. But the virus doesn't care how annoying quarantine might be. Like, that's one of its virusy things. It just doesn't care. Shout out to the 6 people in the chat who gave us a like. Likes are free down below. We have 26, almost 27 people watching us. So give us a like and a share. Where's the graphic? See, the graphic is like, until the graphic came up, I was like, maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't like it. But the graphic was like, oh, I'm sold now. There it is. See, like, it's trending up already. People are like, yeah, that graphic has me motivated. I agree. It's like as much a big hassle as quarantine, right? Like graphics. But here we go. United States coronavirus cases Previously, around 217,000, 5,153 deaths. Here comes the big refresh. 258,112 infected, 6,572 dead. How about a shout out, little golf claps here for the United States. We've 250,000. That's 250,000. It's pretty impressive infection total. Everyone obviously doing their part, not washing their hands, hanging out in public gatherings, going to the beaches. Shout out to all the governors who haven't closed their states yet. You are making this possible for the United States. Thank you. Thank you for your support of the coronavirus. This is the coronavirus. This is the enemy. Doesn't care about your politics. Doesn't care about satire. Doesn't care about sarcasm. Just
doesn't care about block size.
Block size. Doesn't care who Satoshi is. Like, you try to distract him with entertainment news. What about Wonder Woman 1984? No interest. He doesn't even care about Harry Potter. They made Harry Potter free, according to my little Amazon box. I don't know what that means. You can download the books maybe. But no, this thing doesn't care. Wash your hands. It hates it when you wash your hands. When you wash your hands with soap, you're like pissing off this little thing. You're like, all the little red things are like, no, melting. Not soap, not soap. But melting. Let's get some quick news going this morning. Remember yesterday we talked about an aircraft carrier captain who wrote a big memo warning people about what was about to happen on their ships with the coronavirus. Well, he got fired. They say he was the best captain that we ever had. The crew of the USS Roosevelt gave their fired skipper a hell of a send-off. But that's what happens when you tell the truth. Might have been maybe he shouldn't have, violated the chain of command or whatever. So there are both sides to this. But there we go. Tell the truth. You're fired. Let's keep moving. Jared Kushner is in charge of the response. As you all know, he's famous for being married to the president's daughter. So the guy who's married to the president's daughter is in charge of the response. Let's see what kind of actions he's going to take. And again, buzzword bingo coming up. Don't try to drink through this. You'll die. I know your experienced buzzword bingo players from the tech industry. You think you're George Carlin or something, but stand back. Here comes some buzzwords. We have audio, Twitter video. Twitter video is like, I work until I go full screen. Let's try one more time.
What the president asked is that all of the recommendations that we make be based on data. He wanted us to be very rigorous to make sure that we were studying the data, collecting data. A lot of things in this country were happening very quickly, and we wanted to make sure that we were trying to keep updating our models and making sure that we were making informed decisions and informed recommendations to him based on the data that we were able to collect and put together. The president wanted to make sure that we had the best people doing the best jobs and making sure that we had the right people focused on all the things that needed to happen to make sure that we can deliver in these unusual times for the American people. The president also instructed me to make sure that I break down every barrier needed to make sure that the teams can succeed. This is an effort where the government is doing things that the government doesn't normally do. We're stretching, we're acting very quickly, and the president wants to make sure that the White House is fully behind the different people running the different lines of effort to make sure that we get everything done in a speed that the president demands.
We just want to go out there and win one for the team. I'm not an everyday player, but I like to put in 110% effort. Perspiration is 99% of inspiration. We're going to get the best players and the best teams, and we're going to go out there and we're going to play the best games, and we're going to win the most points. And what is this guy talking about? I mean, the first half was bad enough. Then he doubled down in the second half, and it was like, what? I mean, just come on, just say something normal, something that's not a buzzword. It reminds me a lot of George Carlin's classic advertising bit where he goes through all the advertising words. And when George Carlin's doing it, George Carlin's showing you how this language is meaningless. How you can say things like, operators are standing by, cubic zirconian necklace. Our prices are so low, they're insane. You have to buy one to get one free. I mean, these kind of like empty advertising language. And there's this beautiful Carlin bit. I would love to go get it, but yeah, he just goes on and on and on with the buzzwords. So that's good. They had the worst Lollapalooza lineup of all time.
President Mike Pence, head of the task force, And then Jared Kushner is going to say a few words, and Admiral Polovchek, Peter Navarro, Dr. Brooks, and myself. I'll be right back.
And he'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. So Kushner has been running the country by talking to his friends in New York, not the governor, not the hospital, but his friends in New York. Let's hear about that maybe really quick here. Come on, Kush. Oh, we're doing the big refresh. One more try.
Been very, very hands-on in this. He's really instructed us to leave no stone unturned. Just this morning,
He's still
doing
doing quotes, no stone unturned.
He told me he was hearing from friends of his in New York that the New York public hospital system was running low on critical supply. He instructed me this morning. I called Dr. Katz, who runs the system, asked him which supply was the most supply he was nervous about. He told me it was the N95 masks. I asked what his daily burn was, and I basically got that number.
All right, so yeah, he talked to a friend of his. A friend of his said there's a problem with the New York hospital. Lassie, is Timmy down a well? Please, Lassie, tell us what's going on. He could have just called the hospital directly. He could have called the governor directly. This is a man who's in charge. Are you afraid of the apocalypse? Maybe this is a appropriate advertising. Come hang out on Sunday for the Prepapalooza live stream on the Tatiana Show. We've got lots of guests, including Mad Bitcoins and more. Sunday, April 5th, 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Check it out. It's Prepapalooza on the Tatiana Show. And now, back to Bitcoin news. Bitcoin bulls can take the Bitcoin price to 8K amid reports of $10 oil inevitable. So general economic collapse continues to drive the Bitcoin price up. Oil prices are down. Bitcoin prices may be up. Mike Novogratz may hang up his spurs if Bitcoin doesn't hit $20,000 in 2020. Not quite the same thing as eating your own dick, huh, Dan? Hanging up his spurs? Or does that imply castration?
Surely that is it. The end of 2020 that John McAfee said he'd have to eat his own dick if Bitcoin wasn't 500K, was it, or $1 million?
Oh, $1 million. Oh, he wants $1 million.
$1 million.
McAfee's down for $1 million. Yeah.
And what's the time limit on that? It's got to be pretty.
I believe it's going to be midnight on December 31st. You want to wait till the last minute. You don't want to eat your dick without reason. If the price doesn't go over $1 million, McAfee's going to have to eat his own dick, and this guy here is going to hang up his spurs. So keep an eye out for that.
I'm pretty sure it's legally enforceable, right?
Yeah, obviously. Sure. I mean, especially the dick eating, that's compulsory. So the FBI used a Bitcoin trail to catch a Russian rapper accused of money laundering. I just like the headline. I don't really care about the story at all. I just think it's a fun headline. Like, it's got everything, right? He's a Russian rapper, money laundering, Bitcoin trail, FBI. It's just great, huh?
Oh, he's a proper gangster. What's his rapping name? What's the hip cat called?
It looks like it's
Kazaz.
Isn't
that the place? Oh, I thought that was the place that's, when we drove from Vegas to LA, and there was that, what's that place in the desert, like ZZYXXZZ?
Yeah, ZZYYXX, something like that.
Yeah,
it's like one of the lowest points in the world. It's the last exit in Nevada before California. It's a weird road. It's also written on the back of the zippers, but that's because it's the zipper company. So let's keep moving. We've got more news. Bitcoin.com fires 50% of staff as Bitcoin Cash halvening approaches. Is the fear factor setting in? Obviously, Dan, firing 50% of your staff is a good thing, right? If you're Bitcoin.com, if you're a Bitcoin Cash supporter, you're expecting this halvening to, blow up the price of your cryptocurrency. You're going to go to the Bitcoin Cash moon. Maybe it's a satellite or something. But this is big news. Bitcoin.com is in trouble. Previously, we saw them lose control of the @Bitcoin Twitter handle. Recently, I saw the @Bitcoin Twitter handle had been suspended, hopefully forever. But what do you think, Dan? Bitcoin.com? Very bullish move for Bitcoin Cash here.
Oh, it's sad when anyone loses jobs because even if they do, they're working for Bitcoin Cash, But I don't think that these other coins will ride as much of a wave as the halvening that's happening with Bitcoin. I mean, the hash rates are nowhere near. It's got. I mean, obviously they've Bitcoin's hash rate when the last halvening happened was a lot less than it was now. And probably Bitcoin Cash is more than that because of the way everything sort of increases in mining power. But the fact is that it just doesn't have the pizzazz that Bitcoin does. There's no one, or very few people at least, going, yeah, rock on, Bitcoin Cash halvening. All the eyes are on Bitcoin for the halvening, which is 41 days or 40 days now. So all eyes on Bitcoin, and forget about the stuff with whatever after its name, after Bitcoin.
It was especially hard after the BSV split. Losing half your people after losing half your people after losing half your people. I mean, how much of your army do you think you have left at that point? It's not a good look. It's the way that the Dow Jones keeps going down the same amount of percent, but it's less and less points every time because your market's smaller each time. It's not a good thing. Bitcoin is suddenly soaring and smashing the Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ indexes. Hubba, hubba, hubba. Right?
Oh, yeah. That decoupling, apparently.
Yeah. I thought it was all coupled. I thought it was forever coupled. Oh, that was last week's articles. Oh, we need last week's articles back.
Get Bloomberg to print something again from 2 years ago.
If only we could get JP Morgan on it. Once again, let's go to this doctor who really just lays it all down on the coronavirus on Fox News. Even
is that the test that there are millions of tests available, and yet,
shaking his head.
We don't have that pinprick blood test that you can just sort of get, at your local doctor and know in 15 minutes. But they're working on it.
Yeah, they're working on it. They should have been working on it for months. So the fact is, we knew about this from the WHO when? December 31st, 2019. So last year, we knew about this. We knew coronavirus is coming. We knew it was a respiratory disease. We knew it was person to person. Why is it that it's this week that the FDA finally approved these kind of new Abbott lab testing, which, by the way, is one test at a time? It's a great test, but it's one test at a time. It's different than the labs that are doing mass testing, right? So this is a wonderful test, don't get me wrong, but it's one test per 15 minutes. That's wonderful, but it's not the same volume that you really need. This is better for kind of outpatient clinics and things like that. We needed this months ago. You look at Korea, South Korea and the U.S. had their first official confirmed case on the same date, January 19th. That means since January 19th, you look at what South Korea did and what we did. Their population is 1/6 of ours. Look at the cases they have. Look at the mortality they have. It's a trifle compared to what we're dealing with right now because we've had a very weak response and they had a really strong response.
Doctor, thank you. Very interesting to talk to you, Dr. Desai.
I love that silence there at the end, just stunned silence. I didn't know you were gonna spout a bunch of truth. Oh my God! Can we go to commercial? Quick, let's go to commercial. And shout out.
I didn't know he was gonna say that.
Yeah,
I didn't know he was gonna say that.
He's a friend of mine. He's a friend of mine. Sorry, he's a friend. Jabulon writes again. The unique genius of this nation is evident in how we gave the film Idiocracy to the world and in less than a decade turned it into reality. That's right.
Talking of turning stuff into reality, okay, we're expanding on what happened last week. So we're talking about Demolition Man and it's all making sense now. So as all this next generation of kids, they're all going to be like, can't touch people. And they'll all be, they'll hear these horror stories of the Great Plague of COVID. And eventually, the next time something bad happens, they're like, right, okay, in preparation as part of the pandemic thing, we're going to remove all toilet roll. We're going to replace all the fucking toilets with 3 seashells. Because that way, then no one can rush for toilet roll. And then we use the 3 seashells. And then also, because we don't want to give germs or anything, instead of reproducing as we normally do, we can put on these funny headsets, have a bit of ding dong in our heads, and then artificially inseminate. So bring on Taco Bell.
In the future, all restaurants are Taco Bell. And that was already evident. We had that guy call in about a couple weeks ago he was near Denver and he'd gotten the coronavirus and he was relatively cured or whatever, but he needed to go shopping at the store and he didn't want to wear a mask and glove and maybe infect somebody, right? Because he really had the damn thing. So he was going to Taco Bell to get his food. So I was reminded right then, I was like, in the future, all restaurants are Taco Bell. Like, it's his only choice. It's his only option. There is no other food. Also, shout out to @NoBitcoin on Twitter, @KNO Bitcoin for the new Bitcoin halving hat right here, 2020. I wish I had 2020 Bitcoin. That'd be fun. But I do have a hat that says 2020 BTC. So thanks so much for sending me the hat.
That's a lovely hat.
Very cool. So it's a little collector's item. It's kind of like it's a dated Bitcoin hat. So it's already like it's 2020. Like next year, it'll be out of date. I'll need a new one for 2024 or whenever the next halving is. Speaking of halvings, an Ohio gas station dropped their gas prices to 69 cents a gallon. Hi-oh.
What?
That's a good deal.
No, that's April Fool.
No. The Saudi is driving the oil prices down. They say it might be as low as $10 a barrel. That's from like $80 a barrel a few years ago. Like, I mean, that's a significant drop. Interesting. Tur Demeester writes, again, the market impulse has proven to be not so irrational after all. There is currently a genuine shortage of consumer-grade toilet paper. I think there's a shortage because we stocked up on it, though. I don't think there's actually a shortage. I think there's extra supply on the market that's now in private hands. But yes, I'd say the supply that's for sale is gone down. Check out
the
Empty.
store yesterday had some. Like it definitely was enough stock. There, when I saw people walking past, they weren't like running for it. So I think that's hopefully died down now.
Yeah, the jokes are continuing. I see more people stealing them from stores and giving them out with beers, and you can buy this and get a free roll. Check out our short film from yesterday, Empty Vegas, on YouTube and on @MadBitcoin's Twitter. Just went down to the Strip and shot some footage. It was the last official day before Nevada finally got a stay-at-home order. So it was our last chance to go out and take a look. We also have a new interview with the Bitcoin sign guy and his new company, Urbit, right here on the World Crypto Network. So check that out. We shot that at Lightning Hack Day last year. So it's pretty cool. And, of course, check out our good friend, Some More News. I love this guy. Obviously, he's a little liberal, but he's very snarky and sarcastic. So if you want some funny news, kind of like what The Daily Show used to be like, check out Some More News. He's got a new video, How the Rich Are Dealing with Coronavirus. It's great. Great stuff. I hope to talk more about this later. We're definitely going to talk about this on the Bitcoin group. Shout out to James D'Angelo, classic World Bitcoin Network, Bitcoin Blackboard series, early Bitcoiner and early Bitcoin video creator. And he's got a new video, Coronavirus Escape Pods. And it's thoughtful. It's interesting. And I hope we get to play some later. Otherwise, we're going to be talking about that later today on the Bitcoin group, which is also right here on the World Crypto Network. Professor Pamela Karlan tried to warn us during the impeachment trial how that they were going to handle the coronavirus crisis. She was talking about the favoritism that he was giving to certain states, and she was worried that there'd be a future where you'd have to worry that your governor would have to have a good relationship with the president. And if you didn't have a good relationship with the president, you wouldn't get supplies. And that's happened now. So she called it. If you watch the impeachment hearings, you got a little preview of the future there. But then again, it's better to ignore everything and watch some sports. Tur Demeester's got some Bitcoin history here, reminding us that the Bitcoin motto, Vires in numeris, strength in numbers, was first suggested on the Bitcoin Talk Forum in May of 2011. It became popular after it was printed on the Casasius physical Bitcoins. So very cool little Bitcoin history there. Local news, McCarran International Airport in Las Vegas has shut down all gates at 2 concourses in a response to declining air traffic during the COVID-19 pandemic. So things are continuing to tighten up. I'm not sure why we're still doing air travel at all. It seems like a pretty obvious way to spread the virus around, putting it on a little tube, sending it from place to place, allowing more people to spread the virus. But I'm sure some people still need to travel for work or something. So, but they're shutting down most of the airport. Roughly 280 million masks in warehouses around the United States were purchased by foreign buyers on Monday alone, according to Forbes. A FEMA spokesperson says the agency has not actively encouraged or discouraged U.S. companies from exporting overseas. So this is a great one. We've got the masks we need right here in America, but in the name of commerce, we're going to let them be sold at high prices and shipped out instead of being used by our doctors and nurses on the front line. That's a good look. That's a good way to be. Shout out to our friend Juan and his new product, the Phone Hodl. Check out Phone Hodl if you drop your phone, if you leave your phone behind at a restaurant. I guess we don't do that anymore, but back when we do go out to restaurants and things, you're going to want something like the Phone Hodl. That'll keep an eye on your phone for you. You got pictures, you got QR codes, you got 2FA, all kinds of stuff on your phone. Don't lose your phone. Get the Phone Hodl at PhoneHodl.com. I like this ad. I think it's fun. It looks like he's gonna fall, but he's saved by the Phone Hodl. Once again, there were no doctors at yesterday's briefing, at least in the first half. It started out with Secretary of State Steve Mnuchin and Jovita Carranza, ambassador of the Small Business Administration. So it was mainly an economic briefing because, economic things are going to cure the virus. A lot of scientists are like, I wish we had a better economic response to the virus. That would kill it. Zoom is working on all the issues that arise when you go from enterprise software with 10 million users to a universal tool with 200 million users in 3 months. So it's impressive that Zoom is even still running. And I agree with Swift on Security yesterday, who said, sure, Zoom is weak now because no one was using it. But now that they know and now that everyone's looking at them, we're going to find all the problems and hopefully fix all the problems. And maybe Zoom will be a good product instead of just a popular product. The virus continues to spread in the South, where they don't have stay-at-home policies. Some of these states have activated stay-at-home policies, Florida, Georgia, I think maybe Mississippi. But across the board, we don't have a stay-at-home policy, so some people are still going out, and they're getting infected. And it's really kind of horrible, too, because if you look at a map of this, these happen to be somebody's political supporters right here. I'm not going to say who, you can guess. But yes, it's almost as if they're killing their own supporters, and that doesn't make any sense at all. Then again, they got this guy in charge, so oh well. Finally, the White House is expected to recommend all Americans wear cloth masks to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Balaji is celebrating, and rightly so. Balaji's been out ahead of this the whole time, saying that DIY masks are the cheapest, fastest, most scalable intervention we can deploy. No side effects. Universal mask wearing stops the attack at the top of the viral funnel by reducing contagion and thus stopping some people from getting sick in the first place. That's what we've been arguing for here on the internet for what seems like weeks, but now it's finally been officially recommended. What do you think, Dan, the masked man? He's gone. He can't even talk.
I covered my keyboard and couldn't press the button. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Just the more I think about it, the more I'm unable to, not think about wearing a mask when I go outside. It just logically, it's if someone sat opposite you and they cough, if you're not wearing a mask, those particles are obviously much more likely to go into your mouth. If you're wearing a mask and you're sick, the mask will obviously restrict the shit going out. So whether it's a mask or a bloody, I don't know, like a wire mesh fence or like some barbed wire, it's still going to stop. I'm not saying to use barbed wire.
Maybe a brassiere or some panties.
Exactly, a shoe. I've seen a shoe. People laughed at it, like people were laughing at the guy and saying, "Have you been Have you been missold PPE?" But no, I think it's a great idea. You know, put something on there. Like if you're not you're not directly breathing in particles, then at least you've got some form of filtration. It's better than nothing.
Yeah,
if you then have frequently try and level up and manage that by consistently changing the mask. If you've got scarf to different whatever it is, different things, different cloth, then you're reducing the amount of particles that will stay in there and eventually make it through to your mouth. So yeah, I don't know. I'm ball gag, whatever. It's like mask, definitely. I'm in on the mask. I wore one at Lidl. There was like in the UK, it's 50-50 of people wearing masks, non-masks. Of the people wearing masks, there were probably about, I don't know, at least half that had an actual surgical looking mask or a mask that looks like it's a bit more pro. And the rest of the people had this. They had like a not a scarf, but like a snood or like, I wear this for skiing, so I've just used this. Or yeah, so anything, even if it's a pillow, use a dog. If you put a dog in front of your mouth, like.
Well, and we have heard
repeatedly
by the officials, they're worried this is going to lead to a run on the N95 masks or run on the surgical masks. Like, that already hasn't happened. But yeah, it makes sense to wear a mask. Again, we could have been doing this for weeks now. We could have occupied everyone, especially people who know how to run sewing machines, people who know how to sew, who want to do this. We could have had all of them busy at home working on these things for weeks. It wouldn't have cost us anything. And next time, I think everybody's going to have a stock of masks. Everybody's going to have a stock of gloves. So great news for mask and glove companies. Ron DeSantis, Florida governor, has quietly signed a second stay-at-home order. This new order will supersede any conflicting official action or order issued by local officials. So once again, in Florida, they have a major Jaws situation down there. The locals want to keep the beaches open. They want to make lots of money, but they don't want the people to be eaten by the shark that is the coronavirus. So the governor has made a move. He's now had to make a second move to block out his local people. Impressive idiocracy going on in Florida. Truly some of our best idiocracy research is going on down there. Trump said he considered prohibiting an American company from sending important outfits, i.e. PPE, to Italy, but he decided against it because, again, we're still having this disconnect between the old world where you don't want to interrupt the supply flow. You don't want to mess with business, right? You want to keep business as usual, right? It's not business as usual anymore. You claim the goods for the nation that you live in, for the people you were sworn to protect. I love the people of Italy too, but we got to stop exporting stuff that we don't have, right? Like, Pakistan has already stopped exporting wheat, and they have lots of wheat, right? We don't have any masks. We don't have any gloves. Like, Italy, Hong Kong, anyone else that wants them, I think we should send them to New York City. I think we should send them to the American people. So I'm not sure why we're not doing that. This is a good quote. If the guy heading up any particular project suffers from a bad case of Dunning-Kruger, what do you think that says about the project's success? And he reminds us of Kushner, reminding us that Trump instructed him to break down every barrier needed and get everything done in the speed the president demands and to think outside the box. So we're going to work on that. Go out there and win one for the Gipper. So yeah, he thought about doing this. He thought about stopping the order of ventilators and other important materials that could save American lives. And he said, you can't do that. You've got to let it go. Someone in the chat says, America first. Terms and conditions may apply. It's not an impressive look. As well as the airplane company that we should own because we just bailed them out, but we're not even getting a single share in. Boeing 787s must be turned off and on every 51 days to prevent misleading numbers and catastrophic and messed up clocks, right? They put a millisecond clock with a 32-bit register in a plane and it overflows. It's almost unbelievable. But yes, they put a shitty computer clock in the plane, and you have to turn the airplane off and on every 51 days, or the clock will be wrong. So, et cetera, et cetera. Any other systems linked and connected to the clock will all go wrong. So, just impressive work. I'm glad we own Boeing now. But don't worry. Lawrence O'Donnell writes, Trump, the wartime president, just said, we're a backup. Remember when Franklin Roosevelt said, we're a backup, and the states had to go out there and win World War II on their own, fighting for the California division, Nevada division? Oh, yes. Wonderful time. As Josh Marshall says, President Trump doesn't seem to know what the federal government is supposed to do. We don't have an Articles of Confederation. He treats the situation as though the states have all dropped the ball and the federal government is needing to rescue them. There's a reason they call it the national government, right? This doesn't make any sense. This is going to be studied for decades if we ever have any history. Joe Lockhart writes, you've got to be kidding me. Donald Trump blaming the states for not stocking up on supplies, as he said there was nothing to worry about. He's a pathological liar. He can't take responsibility for anything. We don't have a president. So pretty rough out there. They fired the guy on the ship who told you about it. Asked about Americans wearing masks, President Trump says, in many cases, the scarf is better. It's thicker. So there you go, Doctor-in-Chief, doubling down, second day in a row, saying that scarves are better than N95 masks. Pretty unbelievable. Before the pandemic started, the states should have been on the open market just buying gear. So it's the states' fault for not preparing for this. Finally, Trump admits he did not broker an oil deal between Russia and Saudi Arabia. He just hopes they'll make a deal. He says he was told they might do more than 10 million barrels, which means they'd cut their output by 45%. He doesn't say who told him that. So once again, we see the familiar pattern. He wants to give you good news. The oil market was in a tailspin. You were feeling bad. So he gives you fake good news. It's a placebo, right? It's not real medicine. Makes you feel better like a sugar pill. You're like, oh, I feel better. Then when you realize that it's fake, it goes away. So doesn't really help anything. Also, he doesn't know the word bandana. Probably not. It's a Mexican word. He doesn't want to say it. Jared Kushner is leading the coronavirus crisis simply because he fell in love with Ivanka. And if you generally believe he should be one of the people leading the crisis, there is nothing that Donald Trump would do that you won't defend. So once again, he's just simply not qualified. It's making us less safe. Finally, the Trump administration expected to recommend all Americans wear cloth masks in public, as this show has been recommending for weeks. So you're safer being a citizen of this show than a citizen of America. Wearing a mask could save your life, but Trump won't federally mandate it because it's a free country and some people don't want to. Quick follow-up question. Why are there federal drug laws?
Yeah.
Yeah, ding ding on that.
Interestingly, one has a more direct impact on the health of other people. As in, this mask in the pandemic, you're more likely to cause harm than some dude sat smoking. I suppose smoking weed is being legalized over there. I mean, obviously, I suppose he's more on the opioid train.
Not a backwards country like the UK hasn't even legalized marijuana.
Oh, geez, don't get me started. Do you know what the crazy thing was? Up until like 2003, magic mushrooms were legal in the UK. I used to go down to like the body piercing shop and just like stock up. And when my uni mates went back home and just, just enjoy the weekend, as it were. And then they made them illegal. Like after that.
That's
crazy.
Amazing they were ever legal at all. So you have to go to Amsterdam for that. Shout out to the 24 people hanging on in the chat. Thanks for giving us a thumbs up and a share. It's helpful. Trump could just reopen the Obamacare marketplaces and let people get health care. Instead, he says he's going to give them a cash payment. A cash payment is not the same thing as health care. Once again, this is just a pretty typical thing where if they got insurance under Obamacare, they might like it. If they liked it, they might want to keep doing it. So Trump can't recommend an Obama-era program. He can't recommend a liberal program, even if it would help people. So you see the disconnect here? You have someone needs health insurance. So instead of giving them health insurance, you give them money, which is cool, but money may or may not cover the health insurance. Also, it takes a long time to get people money, whereas this health insurance system just kind of covers people. That's kind of just what it does, but he won't do it. Dr. Birx seems unaware that there are masks for eyes, too. Surprising admission there. She was not aware of goggles or face masks that could cover your eyes. Once again, whenever anything goes wrong, he just mentions that he cut off China and he cut off Europe. And then you just have to ask, did you do anything else? If it was so important you cut off China, if it was so important you cut off Europe, what'd you do next? That's where it gets a little fishy. Should they wear the mask? Dr. Birx, just remember, the mask is not a substitute for social distancing and washing your hands. Come on, children. You can do more than one thing at a time. Can you wear a mask, social distance, and wash your hands? Can we change your habits, really? Let's change your habits. Let's get better. A leaked memo details Amazon plan to smear fired warehouse organizer. That's right. They were organizing for sick leave and protective gear during the coronavirus. Jeff Bezos himself attended the meeting where they worked on getting evidence to smear the union leader. So impressive work, Amazon. Keep it up. Let's keep crushing those unions. Make sure the workers have no rights and no health care. And then we can all get sick again. Yay! Watching Jared Kushner is like watching Doogie Howser. But if like Doogie was just a regular teenager and not a child prodigy, but he still performed surgeries. He does seem to have kind of a know-it-all quality. They're finally advising New Yorkers to wear masks, a scarf, a bandana, one you make at home. Thank you, Mayor de Blasio, for joining us here in the past. Los Angeles, same thing at a mayoral level. We're just breaking down this country. We can't have any kind of national leadership. It's unbelievable. Oh, the president who went bankrupt running casinos has put his soggy cardboard cutout of a son-in-law, a mediocrity whose felon father had to buy him entrance to college, in charge of the greatest health and economic crisis in American history. So I feel really confident now. This fills me with confidence. To the 6 million people with the unemployment claims, he says it's just an artificial closing. It's not like we have a massive recession or worse. It's artificial because we turned it off. We will probably do more. So once again, just not really. The Overton window has moved, right? And I think we've talked about this, but let's go ahead and let's pull it up because you guys need to know about Overton. So Overton window, here we go. Let's get the Wikipedia. What the Overton window is, back to full screen. The Overton window is the range of policies politically acceptable to the mainstream population at a given time. It's also known as the window of discourse. It's named after Joseph P. Overton, who stated that an idea's political viability depends mainly on whether it falls into this range, rather than on politicians' individual preferences. According to Overton, the window frames the range of policies that a politician can recommend without appearing too extreme to gain or keep public office, given the climate of public opinion at that time. And as we can see here on the right, here's an example of an Overton window between more freedom and less freedom. We can see right here in the middle, policy, popular policy, sensible policy, then acceptable policy on the edge of the window. Then we have radical and unthinkable policy. So what's happened here is that previously, making Americans wear masks, I guess that would be down here on less freedom, making you wear a mask, making you stay inside would be unthinkable policy, right? But what happened is this whole window shifted, right? So now wearing a mask, staying inside is, I'd say, right about in here. It's popular. It's almost, 100% in the middle. It's almost 100% policy. It's definitely sensible. It's definitely acceptable. It's no longer radical or unthinkable. So you really have to adapt. You have to move your window of what you understand to this new world. And if you do that properly, you're going to understand no one's going to want to go to restaurants anymore, and we have a real problem. I went out for the first time in like a month and a half, right? We went for a drive around Vegas. It was our last chance to do it. Certainly a zombie outbreak risk. I took a risk. I don't like doing that, but I did. And while we were out driving around Las Vegas, I noticed that the McDonald's were still open. And I'm a red-blooded American. I like to eat food. McDonald's doesn't really serve food, but every once in a while, it's fun to get some McDonald's, right? And I thought it through in my head, and I thought, well, I trust McDonald's. I trust the corporation. They freeze the burgers. They send them in, right? They have supply chains. That's all good. Presumably that part's clean. But then I thought, well, what about these workers? These workers who are forced to go to work, who don't make a lot of money, who might not be that clean, right? They're going to be in contact with their kids, and they went to school, and their boyfriends and girlfriends and all these things. And I realized that the possibility of sickness was inside the McDonald's. And it didn't matter if it was really cheap food, or if it was really fast food, or if I was really hungry, or if I thought McDonald's was good food and I wanted to eat it. Would you take the risk of eating fast food if it could infect you and kill you? Like that's the new problem with the Overton window. Previously, that was unthinkable, right? That was like, fast food is safe. Restaurants are safe. I mean, sometimes the guy doesn't wash his hands. You get sick for a couple days. Sometimes the chicken goes bad. Sometimes the lettuce is rotten, right? There's things that go wrong when you go out to eat. But it would be previously unthinkable to have that kind of food equals death, right? Movie premiere, theater equals death. Concert equals possible death, right? So if you don't move your Overton window, you're going to seem like this guy where you're still in the past, where you're like before the virus, and you have this before virus thinking where everyone's just going to go back to restaurants. Like, I miss the food. I miss my friends, right? I miss the camaraderie. I'm going to go back to the bar. I'm going to go back to the casino. I'm going to touch a slot machine that 1,000 other people touched that day. Wait a minute. Does that make any sense? That seems more unthinkable. It seems more unthinkable to touch a slot machine than it does to stay inside. So it doesn't matter if you like it or not, as it says here in the description, rather than on politicians' individual preferences. Certainly my preference is right there with the president. I wish we didn't have to wear masks. I wish we could go to restaurants and casinos and bars and movie theaters and concerts. I wish we could get on airplanes and go to conferences and learn about Bitcoin and stuff. But the Overton window has moved, and it doesn't matter about my wishes or my preferences. So let's try to keep going. I think we're still making it through the news. As Trump says, when this is over, and again, this is someone whose window hasn't moved.
Corporations they had fewer restaurants. But the boom of the restaurants is when they had deductibility, where corporations could
this
use
is
them.
a different argument.
And
yeah.
entertainment. That was a great thing. But they closed it, and then they closed it again, and it wasn't the same. But you want to get them back, you do that. But infrastructure, we borrow our money now at zero. You know, if we were paying 5%, 4%, 3%, it's a different ballgame. We're borrowing. We can borrow long-term for zero, literally zero. You know that. Because we're considered the safe investment all over the world. They want money in the United States. That's where they want the money. So I know better than anybody. I know what they're going through, and it's horrible. But you know what I want to do? I want to be able to get them back fast. When this is over, it's going to be a day we're going to celebrate, because everyone's going to go to work, and I think we're going to have boom times. I think it's going to be great. And we've learned a lot. We've learned about borders. We've learned about reliance on other countries. We've learned so much.
Anything about science?
So much.
Viruses?
That I think we really have a chance to be bigger and better and stronger. And I think it's going to come back very quickly. But first, we have to defeat this enemy.
Well, he's right about that last part. But no, I don't think it's going to come back very quickly. I think we're looking at someone there whose Overton window hasn't moved, right? And this is part of, historically, if you want to look at this guy, it's part of the problem. There's one point where he talked about his views and his policies, and he was talking about Treasury. And Steve Mnuchin said, Mr. President, where did you get those views? No one has believed that for 20 years. And he said, That's where I got them. I got them 20 years ago, and I've stuck with them. So already this is a person who doesn't change their views with the times. They just kind of stick with what they've got. So it's going to be a real problem as this Overton window keeps crashing up against reality and these kind of little statements that we're going to boom when we come back and that we're going to be stronger. The other thing he was talking about there is a belief that you could reinvigorate the restaurant market by bringing back write-offs. You know, if you work for a government or a corporation or something, you used to be able to write off your restaurants. You used to be able to write off your entertainment. And apparently the Trump administration took that away. So they want to give that back to you under the belief that the ability to write off your entertainment would overweigh your fear of going to that restaurant and dying. And as you can see, the Overton window has moved. Like, it used to just be, oh yeah, that would help. That would motivate me. I'd take more clients out for business, for lunch, right? But the problem is now I keep calling up these clients for lunch, and no one wants to eat with me anymore. No one wants to sit within 6 feet of me and eat random food prepared by random people in a random place with a recirculating air system. So no, it's pretty much gone. Like, I'm not sure. And again, the window's moved. Like, I don't like it. He doesn't like it. You don't like it. No one likes it. Doesn't matter to the window, right? The window doesn't care. As Mrs. S, Mr. S writes, we're over 1 million people with coronavirus. We all need to work together before the economy does not matter anymore because no one is here to enjoy it. And that's really it. It's not a question of we need to work together to make money, or we need to work together because work is cool and, we make cool stuff or anything like that, or like the Hubble spaceship or the telescope. Like, none of that. That doesn't matter. Like, if we don't fix the virus, there's nothing to come back to. The governor of Massachusetts had to hide his plea to the Chinese because the feds had already seized the 3 million masks that he ordered. Governor said, with Jonathan Kraft, the idea of treating the Chinese mask purchase as a private humanitarian mission to keep the feds from finding out. So Massachusetts, to get that Patriot plane, yesterday the New England Patriots owner, Bob Kraft, used his own airplane to fly to China to come back to Massachusetts with supplies. The only reason they got the supplies is they called it a private humanitarian mission. So this is just an example of the complete mess at the federal government. They're not running things, but when they are running things, they end up taking from the states. The states are told to go out and buy things, but then the government keeps outbidding them or outright taking them. So this is just an organizational disaster. It's not a political thing. It's just organizationally, we are out of control. We've got our first shoot 'em dead quarantine order. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte orders police and military to kill citizens who defy the coronavirus lockdown. So everybody at home, civil liberty people, you've all been waiting for this. Let's drink. Here we go. There's nothing in here, water, but kill them if they go outside. Balaji, again on masks, quotes a beautiful article from the Red Cross from the 1918 pandemic. See how much nicer it is when you say 1918 pandemic instead of Spanish flu. See how we can learn the year and all kinds of stuff. It's great. A gauze mask is 99% proof against influenza. Doctors wear them. Those who do not wear them get sick. The man or woman or child who will not wear a mask is now a dangerous slacker.
It's amazing.
Cool language, huh?
Isn't it just incredible how we knew that so long ago, and yet it's taken so long to come to the same conclusion? Now, I'm not saying that stuff that was said back then was gospel or whatever, but I'm sure that they did, especially after the Spanish flu, a little bit of testing here and there to make sure that it didn't wipe out even more people. So I'm sure that probably led into how it was eventually eradicated and controlled in some way, that people actually did start wearing the mask and these areas became less and less. But yeah, it's sad to see that that message got lost.
It seems very easy, very simple. You must wear a mask, not only to protect yourself, but your children and your neighbor from influenza pneumonia, and death. Death, 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 death. Shout out to the 4 people watching us on Facebook. Please give us a like on the Facebook system. It's really cool to see anybody watching it over there. Maybe you're watching it on the replay, though. That'd be cool, too. Check out Petra, just Petra Jennifer. She has no notes, but this is from her trip to Boston, January 2018. She's going to guess Assyrian. It's a lion. Looks like it might be a coffin or a bathtub. I don't know from this low angle, but
Right,
nice.
could be a flower, maybe a flower bed. You know, like
Could be flower bed outside. You can
front
see
of your
the
mansion.
lion seems to have a horse or some other animal's head in its mouth. A very violent, a violent flower bed, a very violent bathtub, I suppose. And there might even be a man riding the lion. He's kind of got like a spear here, and looks like a fireplace poker. I don't know why, but there you go. It's all happening. Thanks, Jennifer, for sending us some cool art so we can distract ourselves from this horrible thing that's going on. Masks for All is working. Balaji's very happy today. Shout out to Balaji. I saw Governor Cuomo on the Rachel Maddow show yesterday. He said, "What keeps me up at night is not the numbers, but that it didn't have to be. It didn't have to be." It was a big moment last night when Cuomo said that. It was really, really touching. And now we're finally getting to what we really wanted to talk to today. Only an hour of news. I think we did the news pretty fast. We slammed right through it. I think we're up to the top where I started getting nostalgic because this time last year, Dan and I and lots of other people were in Manchester in the United Kingdom for CoinFest UK. And really, we'd be there this year. If it wasn't for the virus and our good sense and all that kind of thing. So I started putting some pictures up. Here's me in the stocks at Cromford Mills in England. Here's me in the stocks in Malta. I always seem to get put in the stocks. Here's some cool pictures of Schlosspark Schönbrunn in Vienna, Austria from 2017. And again, obviously, I'm not going anywhere. These are just, I have lots of old pictures. Here's Robin Hood's castle. It was under construction in Nottingham. I hope to go back for that. That would be cool. Here's my favorite bar in Nottingham, Ye Old Trip to Jerusalem. As you can see, from 1189 AD, the oldest inn in England. And it's actually built into the rock here. So some of the rooms are kind of like part rock rooms. It's pretty cool. Bar in England. Let's see. We talked about all this other stuff. Masks. All right. I think we got it. I think we're clear. I think we're clear from the news. Oh, shout out to FOMO. They're going to do the Lightning Hack Day at Polis Paralina in Barcelona. But coronavirus happened. So I'm pretty sure they're going to announce they're going to do kind of an online hack day. We're going to talk more on that during the Bitcoin group. But if you want to check it out, the online Lightning Hack Day at FOMO Lightning on Twitter, I should have the announcement there. So yes, we were at UK last year. Very cool, CoinFest. And here we go, we made it. And now Dan and I are going to tell you the story with the help of pictures and maybe a little bit of water of our incredible adventure to Malta. So everyone, get your.
It was a fairy tale.
Put your feet up, kick back, get your cup of tea, get ready for this. Give us a thumbs up and a share.
So that you can adjust.
Something else is going to happen. Dan's got that rubber glove going. Not sure why. There you go. Now you can finally touch your face because you put your rubber glove on. But yeah, it's good. You can go ahead and unmask if you'd like, Dan. You don't have to keep that on all show. But I think obviously some serious dedication showing the people the importance of wearing masks. So it started off.
Endurance.
It started off, I was in England. As you can see, I've got my cup of tea right there. And we've got our awesome headlines. So let's take a look at these. Theresa's last stand. Is that your bright idea? And May invites Corbyn to break Brexit deadlock. So we're still very much in Brexit at the time. And Theresa May was just holding on. So it's before Boris Johnson became prime minister. So we started out a little bit north, I think, of Manchester, or well, somewhere else. And they said, here at Burger King, coming soon, you're going to be able to shop using a robot. You're not going to have to talk to a human anymore. And this is a good idea. But now I'm sure you can all see the problem here. We're sharing the same keypads. We're sharing the same touchscreen. This is a disease problem right here. So the Overton window has moved. Elbows. Yep, elbows. I saw on TV you can order like a little brass key for touching things and opening doors. I'm not sure I'm at that level yet, but the window has indeed moved. We arrived the night before CoinFest in Manchester. As you can see, the massive banner as big as the hotel right here. April 4th through 6th, 2019. Thanks to all the sponsors of CoinFest. It says Crypto Baits, coinfestuk.org. And here we are at the Pendulum Hotel in Manchester, where they're going to have the convention. And as a fitting, the Pendulum Hotel has a pendulum. Here it is, swinging right here. Apparently the pendulum was put in place by something like Churchill or something. There was a big meeting. All kinds of British bigwigs came over. The price of Bitcoin at that time was $5,322. Doesn't seem that bad a year ago. So not bad at all. And here we go. Here's me and Dan. And
Bitcoin Rat, Portsmouth BTC.
Portsmouth BTC and Bitcoin Rat right there at the CoinFest, getting ready, are on our way in. So there's their BTC sign. They have a lot of big signs at CoinFest. They do a good job with the big letters. There's me next to the sign. They had some Bitcoin HODL energy drink. I tried one. It reminded me of Red Bull. About the same, but I guess there's more and more of these branded custom energy drinks. Here it is, the Foucault Pendulum, and 1851. I don't know. It's a popular display. It's a pendulum.
It's a nice pendulum.
I was trying to see if it was installed, if they said like, what kind of, if the Queen came, if Churchill came, what year it was. But it's a Foucault pendulum, and it's swinging, and it's in the hotel for some reason. So there you go. There's a CoinFest sticker. Here's me with the moon. Oh, moon. There's some nice art. I think that's Trevor Jones. I think we met him here. We did an interview from Scotland. And it's neat. He's got the original Financial Times there that Satoshi used, and that's Dorian Satoshi. Here's some more Bitcoin artwork there. What's nice about the CoinFest convention, they have lots of Bitcoin art. As you can see here, some patterns and some designs, some political work there, Statue of Liberty and other stuff. Yeah. And into the booth.
Oh, yeah.
Into the booth we go. They had a money booth, just like on the game show. So I think Dan and I both went inside. I found out these booths are much harder than you think. You're watching at home thinking this is the easiest thing. Tom's going to get all the money. Well, there was only certain colors you were supposed to get, first of all, so it's complicated. Second of all, there's just nothing to catch it against. You end up kind of trying to catch it against your body, just trying to stop it any way you can. It's Technique. Just a flurry of these things. But, oh, look, I'm doing the mime right there, classically trained, and getting pumped up. And then we're going to see Dan. Dan's going to probably beat my score here. He's going to slaughter me.
I think I did okay. I remember I did okay. In fact, I think I might have been beaten by someone, did really good, and then someone else just, I shat on the all the scores below, and someone just blew mine out of the water.
Now you see, really I just can't seem to catch any of them. Like, you're moving your arms around, nothing's working. I'm starting to use kind of a body to block there, but I probably got 5-10 of these things. I mean, it is just not working. It's completely flustering. You think it's so easy. You're like, you watch these people on TV for years, and you're like, oh, it's so easy. Oh, it's not easy
Crystal
at all.
Maze.
I'm completely losing at this game. But here we go. Here's Dan's. Let's see Dan show us all up.
I'm surprised I haven't been disqualified. Oh, no, there we go. Cool. I'm legit.
There you go. They're telling you the rules. There are a lot of rules.
Oh no. I'm still on the line. I'm on the line.
And he's off.
This is it.
Dun, dun, dun,
if you notice, the vortex gets created. There's a sweet spot around the knees, and they continuously pass through there. So you've just got to kind of grab them.
Dan's got
No,
strategy and everything. I certainly didn't have strategy when I did it.
What are you saying? I had strategy. Instead, I was going, "Ah!" You just couldn't hear me.
I've analyzed the wind flow, sir. There seems to be a perfect spot, 75 degrees to the left.
Oh, it's easy trying to look cool retrospectively. I think at the time I was like, "Ah!"
But anyway, things are going normally. Dan and I were at the
Okay.
conference. There's some more cool art there. I like that one in the middle. You guys see that one? Some mosaic Bitcoin art
yeah.
there. Hodl something, Hodl gang. I don't know this guy.
Hodl.rocks.
Hodl.rocks.
Is it-
That's it. Yeah, because Dan and I both bought. There it
Mosaic
is.
Rocks. Yeah.
Oh, that's not the one we got, but that's I do want that one. They're very cool. There's the ones
That's
that
it.
Dan and I got from Hodl.rocks. These were kind of samples
Yeah.
of his
We need to get
Satoshis riding the
engraved.
wave. Yeah, it'd
Next
be
time
cool.
you're in UK.
Yeah, we'll see. He also made these impressive ones. These are woodcuts. He does 3-dimensional woodcuts, then he layers them. So I like that one. This one's really nice. And as you can see here, these mountains in the background, these are actually Bitcoin charts. So it represents kind of a special time in Bitcoin history when the price did that. And the same thing here with the wave and Mount Fuji. But Mount Fuji is a Bitcoin price mountain, right? That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we got these little ones because, we're poor. But these were kind of affordable. So Dan and I were able to grab up one of these. And I think the third one went to Vizik. He's a big crypto art collector. Actually, I'd say I've seen a lot of pictures of his work and such. He's really
Fizzybit.
he's bought a lot of great stuff. There's a close up
Fizzybit
of
is his
the,
shop.
yeah, check that out. Here's a close up of the Bitcoin butt. So there you go. Let's keep going. Oh, yeah, the backgammon game. Let's see. Will it load? Yeah, there it is. Bitcoin backgammon. That's pretty neat. Again, this kind of woodcut 3D printing. It's a neat new kind of art thing. Mayonnaise, 10 liters. That's a lot of mayonnaise. Tulips. Here's some little guys. These are cute. I wish I'd gotten one of these. I think they wanted a lot of money for them. But they have a little Bitcoin guy and a little Ethereum guy. There's that guy with him. And I think we did a little interview afterwards. Play this graffiti art machine. Let's give that a quick look. So you could kind of draw on this with like a spray can. So another thing that looks really easy until you start doing it. And then you quickly run out of space to write anything else. So whoopsie doodle. Maybe I'll write smaller next time. So yeah, what am I going to do? Yeah, it's a B. I'm nothing if not predictable. So there we go. Value your wealth in Satoshi. A nice little advertisement from the convention. There's the John McAfee work by Trevor Jones. It's a very neat work. It's interactive, right? You hold up your phone and you scan it like it's QR code, and it plays a little video of John McAfee. So then I think I drank the caffeine beverage, the Bitcoin HODL Premium Pure Power. I'm sure I drank it. Our friend Ben was there stamping some money with his Buy Bitcoin stamp. Pretty cool. Here's another shot of the pendulum and the hotel. Seems like you could get another room in there, maybe. We've got all the crypto swag. Check it out. Hodler.rocks. That's a rock. It's 3D. It's been engraved, laser etched. It's a laser etched rock. Some Bitcoin buttons, crypto cards, Monero socks. It's all the stuff you need. They even have the crypto grabber. They have that claw machine right here. You can play. You could win a Guy Fawkes mask. Crypto grabber right there. You can pay in Bitcoin. Pretty cool. Here's Ben with his stamps. He had so many Buy Bitcoin stamps. Federal Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. $50 million in Zimbabwe telling you to buy Bitcoin. There's some British money. You can see Big Ben, and I lit it up. It's pretty neat. You can see it's transparent money. Has a little plastic section right there. It's actually all kind of plastic.
Just while we're on that, so here's I've been getting a few fizzy bits. In fact, the first CoinVest I went to in 2017, I bought the first 3 of these. But like, these are some of the stuff that you can buy. I mean, these are so cool. If you can see that. There's like, what the hell going on? Is it there? Oh, can you see the screen? There you go.
Yep, full
Like that.
screen.
You got that one, and then you got like, there you go. Bit of some crazy one like that. There's loads of these. They're all collectible prints. This is one of my favorites as well. And then I've got loads downstairs on the thing, but they're all kind of real funky, cool bits of art. And actually, that one behind me is a custom Cryptoraptor job from Vesa, art by Vesa. So yeah, check her out. Check them all. Check it all out. Hodler.rocks, Fizzy Bit, art by Vesa, Trevor. There's some amazing stuff out there.
And we got
Trevor,
to meet.
in fact, we'll cover a bit of Trevor later.
Yeah, we got to meet all those people, including Vesa, at CoinFest. Right, so it was a really neat thing, and we did interviews with all these artists. You can check them out on the World Crypto Network.
And it's free as well. CoinFest is free, so it's been diverted to November. So if you're in the UK, get there. Oh, I really wanted to go to that.
And remember, as the bar says, have a great time boozing. Just remember, some of our guests are snoozing. It's a fun sign.
It's easy to forget that.
Mad Bitcoins was there, and there's the photo I shared on Twitter, so we're getting forward. There's the organizer of CoinFest, Adam, right there. Shout out to Adam. Thanks for organizing the festival. There's Victoria. She just wrote a book about Bitcoin. Very cool. And then Kirsty, Truth Decay, Victoria's book. And there's Kirsty from Scotland, getting to meet Mad Bitcoins, no doubt the thrill of her life. There's Mad Bitcoins giving a speech. There's a mystery man. There's Dan and a mystery man checking it out. There's some other people that Dan knows. Oh, and then there's Tom.
Commerce
Block Crew. There's another shot of the pendulum. Again, just I shoot a little video of everything. I shoot a little bit of everything. I try to get coverage, right? Just maybe I need this pendulum shot later, right? So it's a hotel pendulum with a pendulum inside. Your guess is as good as mine. Crypto Raptor live, introduced by Mad Bitcoins right there. Twitter screenshot back in the day. Look at that, 31 likes, 8 retweets. That's pretty good, man. Doing all right. I was working on my Duolingo. I only had an 85-day streak back then. I have a 400-day streak now, learning German on Duolingo. A couple other screenshots. Hey, speakers. I recognize one of those guys. Mad Bitcoins. How about that? Just barely made the list. Just barely. But still on the list. There it is again. Even bigger. You can see the Mad Bitcoins part right there. There it is. Close up in case you didn't get it. There's some more awesome Bitcoin art. Hal Finney, Chase Manhattan Bank CEO Jamie Dimon, big Bitcoin hater there. There's a crypto graffiti, all the way from San Francisco. One of his no leader Satoshi George Washington with a hoodie, dollar bills, classic crypto graffiti. And this is Vesa's art. A lot going on. Just like Dan's background right there. Same thing, Vesa. Shout out to Vesa.
So if you can see clearly, he's got a Cryptoraptor logo in the Bitcoin as well. It's amazing. It's beautiful. Best drunk purchase I ever agreed to.
Custom art right there. Dan's an art collector now. So I like this Vesa one. It's got a guy with a hoodie. Very cool. You can see in the middle there, and just a lot going on. There's a shot of CoinFest, people doing the speakers. Mad Bitcoins again on another sign. This is kind of cool. They had snakes and ladders. In the United States, it's just called chutes and ladders. So they're slides. Whereas going down a snake seems like a totally different experience. So instead of slides and ladders or chutes and ladders, they have snakes and ladders. So I just never seen
riding
that before.
Riding a snake's a good experience. There you go. Anonymous.
Anonymous.
That wasn't a euphemism, by the way. I didn't mean that to sound dirty.
We're copying some video files, and then it looks like we went out into Manchester, outside of the convention. Can you believe it? This rarely happens for those of you who attend conventions. That's a really nice entryway there. Look at the glasswork, the woodwork. There's a nicer shot there. You can see might be some ships in the middle. Manchester Municipal Technical School. from 1887, looks like. Nice. And just taking some pictures of the old Manchester here. Recognize that fellow? Who could that be? Hey, it's Alan Turing. How about that? He invented artificial intelligence. He invented computer programming and all kinds of stuff. Alan Turing. Father of computer science, mathematician, logician, I don't know, wartime code breaker, and sadly victim of prejudice. So shout out to Alan Turing. He studied right there in Manchester. He went to school and taught there. Sackville Gardens. I just thought that was funny, like Sackville Baggins, like a little Hobbit reference. And here's Dan. I arrived at the restaurant, and sorry, Dan, photos tell nothing but the truth. I arrived at the restaurant, and Dan was already well lit. I'm not sure how they got him drunk before dinner, but someone did. And he was sitting on not a chair, but a pommel horse. That's some kind of saddle that he's got there. So Dan is saddled up, well drunk before dinner, giving us that little grin there.
We worked pretty hard.
And check it out. We had the whole crew there. This is one of our friends' vegetarian dinners. Everyone was welcome. You didn't have to be a vegetarian. You could eat anything you wanted, and it was also free. You just paid for your food. You didn't have to pay more money, say, if you wanted to sit next to Mad Bitcoins. That was free. Anyone could sit anywhere they wanted.
However, it did turn out that people were paying to be as far away from me as possible, which is why you can't see me, because I was put in the corner.
Not pictured Dan. So there's McTucky's fried chicken and burgers. I thought that was funny. It's a little Kentucky, but McTucky. I don't know. I've never seen one. And then here's Dan. Later on that night, Dan, they told me these guys came up. Here's Dan with the flag. He's waving the flag. He's got a lot of stamps on his face. These guys, they came up to me later and they're like, don't worry. We put Dan to bed. We took him up there. He's not going to cause any more trouble. We stamped his face up a little bit. We had to, they admitted. But you can see the ladies pointing at Dan's face with all the stamps. And, but no, then Dan came back anyway. And it was funny. I was watching Rain Man on TV with subtitles, and Rain Man didn't seem that fine. He just wants maple syrup. Like this scene right here, if you just read the subtitles, he's like Larry David. He's just like, when they bring the maple syrup after, it will be too late. How come? If we're going to be here all morning with no maple syrup and no toothpicks, he's just a man that wants his fucking syrup, There's nothing wrong with him at all. Meanwhile, in England, smoking causes fatal lung cancer. Ooh, scary stuff. We also had some Buckfast tonic wine. Interesting there, made by the Benedictine monks, it looks like, from Devon, England. More trouble there. And smoking may reduce blood flow and causes impotence. Uh-oh. Trouble there. Smoking kills. And then we got our mission, right? And you could see a little bit of a tweet there with Adam Back, and I don't know what I said. You can go back and pause it, I guess. I guess it's not a secret now. But no, Adam Back messaged us up. We'd met him a couple times before, done some interviews. They were having a conference in Malta, and there was only one problem. They didn't have a Blockstream satellite. They'd worked on it earlier. They were having the satellite shipped out of England, but something had went wrong, and now they needed to do their presentation, and they needed a satellite. So story here.
No, look at the time of this as well. Just check out the time. This is 4:15 a.m.
4:15 a.m. We're getting ready to leave the hotel with the Blockstream satellite. Now, we got some bad advice that you should just stay up all night if you have a flight at like 6 a.m. That was bad advice. We also got some worse advice when people kept buying us drinks. So we drank all night. We stayed up all night. Then we got ready to go. Here we are in the lobby. Dan's getting ready. It's not just your normal consumer satellite, right? This is an 85 centimeter satellite system antenna and a second box. So here's Dan posing with the satellites. Dan, of course, has had nothing to drink. So, but yeah, let's keep going. So here we go. We crammed the satellites into the car. We didn't think to order like a larger car or anything like that, because it's just another goofy little British car. It's not one of the real cars like we have in America. So we had to cram Dan into the back seat with the satellite dish, as you can see here. He just barely fit. So here we go. We're arriving at the airport with the satellite dish. We're running late as usual. And I don't know about you guys, but they always got to take my bag apart at the airport. They always, one of my best lines they said in Italy, they're like, "Why do you have so many USB cables?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. I'm a computer guy. I have a lot of USB cables." Or, they'll always get a comment like, "Wow, you have a lot of equipment," or "Are those all cameras?" It's like, yes. So at this point, I had to rush ahead so that I could get through security, so at least somebody would show up in Malta. But I left Dan behind with a satellite and important mission, and they ran him from one end to the airport to the other end, and it was too big and too small and the wrong place. What'd you end up doing, Dan? Tell us your story here.
Oh, well, we had to put it to the protect, for the not protected, like where skis and stuff go. But yeah, there were definitely a lot of questions as to why the hell we had a satellite, why we were taking a satellite. But at the end of the day, you can't say no to Adam Back. Oh, that picture. Yeah, I was a bit sleepy on the plane. At least I slept. Otherwise, we would have been completely dead. But,
so you can't say no to Adam Back, right? He invented Hashcash, helped found Blockstream. They're working on Lightning
referenced
Network,
in the white paper.
Referenced in the white paper. I mean, my God, it's like Satoshi himself told us to bring him a satellite dish. So somehow Dan gets the satellite dish on the airplane. I don't know how. It might have taken the MoMA of fruity porridge. But here he is on the plane, passed out, stamps on his face, sticker on his hat. Dan is heading to Malta. Close up. So there you can see the island down below, the island of Malta. Again, these are unedited photos, so if something really nasty or dirty, please just overlook it. We made it to Malta. Here's Aaron and Adam Back and some other guys up on the stage doing the Understanding Bitcoin 2019 conference. Let's see, where's my picture of the thing? Sorry for your loss. Bitcoin is dead. There's some cool advertising from Breaking Bitcoin, which I think I was heading to later in the year. There's a QR code. You can send me Bitcoin. That'd be good. Here we are landing. We're landing EasyJet at Malta International Airport. Checking it out, going forward. Getting our bags, which also means getting the satellite dish. There's the satellite dish in the back of the car.
That a much more comfortable boot. That was more like a van.
Oh, here's our video. We need this. This is us driving through the streets of Malta with the satellite dish. This is the hero shot, right? Indiana Jones music. Dun 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 dun. Look at that. Heroes. And there it is right there. It's out of focus because the guy moves so quickly. But it was like delivering a heart for a heart transplant.
Oh, it's amazing.
The guy's like, "Do you have the satellite dish?" "Yes, we do."
Yeah.
He put it immediately on this cart and started rolling it out of there. Immediately, the Blockstream guys started hooking it up and aiming it and configuring it. And apparently it takes a long time to do a satellite, but they did it very quickly, just in time for their presentation. We saved the day. We delivered the Blockstream satellite to Malta.
Oh, I've just talked, just to quickly interject, Tom, because my friend's watching, my best friend, and it's his birthday today. And so I did say, I would say, "I love you, dude," on Tinternet. And he also shares a birthday with my sister that I mentioned the other day that is no longer with us. So he's a special friend. He's a good guy. So I love you, man. Thanks for always being there.
Is it Norm?
And back. It is, yeah, it is Norm.
Say Norm's name. He wanted you to say, "I love you, Norm," or he wouldn't go to sleep the other night.
I love you, Norm.
I can't believe you didn't say it, really. But
oh, I'm sorry, man.
Happy birthday, Norm. We hope you get to sleep tonight.
Yay.
But yeah, so there he is. Look how fast he is. My second photo, also out of focus. This guy was just cooking. And there's some Brains OS hardware. There's Dan's Bull Bitcoin hat. There's me and Dan at the Understanding Bitcoin conference in Malta.
We made it.
We weren't even intending to go to Malta. We were just supposed to stay in England. There's a cool old Maltese building. They all kind of look like that. The sandstone, the sunshine, the Malta-ness, right?
It was so cool though when after it got taken off, like you said, like the heart being transplanted. there was a buzz because the satellite had been delivered, and they've been really placing their bets on whether they'd be able to get the satellite configured, and they did get it configured, and they made Bitcoin transactions using our satellite on the top of the hotel. So that was literally an incredible journey. Amazing.
It was amazing. We were heroes. We delivered the satellite. We were exhausted. We stayed up all night. We drank too much. And we missed the party. We totally missed all the parties. We just crashed completely. And for our troubles, there's the little behind the scenes media room. We got to hang out with the crew, got some food, free food. Always get free food. Go to the media room. There we go. Adam Back was speaking. It was a very cool conference. Look, they had the TX10, Go Tennas. Those are very cool. A lot of technical stuff. There's that building with some clouds behind it. Oh, here's some pretty Malta shots here. You guys want this? You want to experience the pretty of the Malta. Oh, it's doing low res for some reason, but you can imagine what it looks like on a nicer res. But yeah, Malta waves right there, surrounded by the Mediterranean Sea. Listen to that sound of the ocean. I don't know why it's killing me with the low res. You can see in the screenshots it's clearly higher res. Apple's give me the low res, but there it is. Cool cat down by the water of Malta. We delivered the satellite dish like heroes. Got put in the stocks anyway. Panoramic Malta. More video of the ocean. The Apple is giving me low res for some reason. I blame the virus of low res. Where's the button that makes it high res?
It looks like what the hell? It's using a potato to filter. It's like filtering through a potato.
Whatever it is, these are much higher quality videos than what it's showing you. But still, maybe if you guys squint, you could enjoy the waters of Malta there. The Palace, a 5-star hotel. Surely we
very briefly.
Very briefly. Yeah. Just until we found out how much it cost, and we got the hell out of there the next night.
Cancelled the next two, and we're like
absolutely canceled. Oh, but again, we took lots of pictures so you guys know what a luxury hotel room looks like, in case anyone ever buys you one for a single night after you've delivered their satellite dish. This is a.
Oh, you know the worst part is the Bitcoin that Adam Back sent me, which I was meant to keep eternally in the address with that story attached. I got drunk one night and used it to buy a shitcoin. And I feel absolutely distraught. I feel like I'm just such an idiot.
Oh, that's sad. That's the worst possible use. I thought I was going to keep that money I won at a poker game once forever, but I spent it too. So it all happens. Here we are getting ready with the Nodl guys to do some interviews. We went ahead and took over a room there and just started doing interviews. Look at that fancy hotel. And then later on, we got to go to our more normal Airbnb shared with like 5 of our friends. That's more of our speed.
That's more crypto bear market style.
Yeah. It always seems to be a bear market. But there's some more cool images of Malta. We went to the Drunk Bull. Had some more Sisk. That's fun Maltese beer. Tastes like water. Gotta like that. Looks like a chicken sandwich there and some crisps. Look, somebody's eating octopus. Ew. There's an octopus. And we're hanging out in Malta, causing the price of Bitcoin to go up because we're on tour, of course. And there's Dan, hodl my beer. There's me. There's it's raining. Malta. Later the next day.
I was just thinking whether that was the time when I had to. We both had to record the tune for
my buddy Neil and Veronica and her friend. And we went on a car ferry to Gozo, a very small island near Malta. And it was pretty neat. They had a great temple there. It was older than Stonehenge. It was really windy on the boat. Hat got blown off. I held on to it. But there's Gozo. There's the island, and it's neat. What's neat about Gozo is that Gozo is green. Malta is all sand and dirt colored. Gozo is actually green. And this is a beautiful video. I don't know why it's going to give us the low res version. Apple, part of the new cruelty from Apple. But yeah, it's really not. Account settings. Yeah, I'm sure it's in there. Oh, well. But anyway, I got to go to Gozo. It was really neat. We went around. We went to all this museum about all the stuff that the old people had left behind, the ancients, if you will.
Did you go to Gigantia?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that where you went?
Then we went to
Yeah,
Gigantia.
yeah.
There it is right there.
Yeah.
Allegedly built
Oh,
by
yeah.
giants.
I
You
saw
can
my
see
nan instead.
the size of the stones here, incredibly huge, incredibly heavy. How did they move them? We don't know. No picking flowers. There's rules. But yeah, they're working on reconstructing it here. It's a magnificent temple. Unlike Stonehenge, you really get to go up inside there. You get to walk around. Again, it's killing me with this low res footage here. I don't know why it's doing this to me. It's much higher res. But there's next video. Maybe this video. Let's try it again. There it is.
Maybe it's because it's streaming from iCloud because it's not locally downloaded. So it's giving you the low res.
That's probably it, but I thought it'd be easier to do it through the web page here than to try to download version. But yes, you can see the megaliths are covered in graffiti. Some of the graffiti dates back to the 1800s, so it became historical graffiti. But you can see all the rocks set together here, how they had to choose perfect rocks to tie them together. There's some close-ups of the historical graffiti. Gozo was a stop for the Grand Tour. Europeans used to go, wealthy Europeans used to go on a trip they called the Grand Tour, and they would go to all the libraries and museums and historical sites. And Gigantia, right here that you're seeing in Gozo off the coast of Malta, was part of the Grand Tour. So pretty impressive. I didn't have plans to go here. This was kind of like I had an extra day, and my friends wanted to go here. And I was in Malta randomly delivering a satellite dish. So it was pretty fortunate, and we were pretty lucky to go check out Gozo. We checked out Gigantia there, and if my photos will load, I'll take a look at the Citadel, which is another great thing. They had Dan's favorite food there, pasticci, right? That's what you like, Dan? Dan's gone.
Beautiful cheese pasticci.
Can't even comment on the pasticci. Tell the people what is it like, Dan? It's like a croissant with meat and sauce inside, kind of. Yeah.
It's phyllo pastry, so they've got different ones, but this is phyllo pastry, and it's ricotta and yeah, just kind of ricotta and kind of a bit of but not spice, but salt and stuff like that. It's really nice, like crispy pastry. They're beautiful, and they're like 20 cents each. So you can literally you get 5 of those for €1, and you will not be eating more than 5. They also have a pea one there, so there's like a pea pasticci, and there's now a cool one as well, which is like chicken and something or other. But yeah, if you go to Malta, pasticci is all about pasticci.
Got to get the pasticci. So here's just a square in Gozo. Memory of the Gozans who lost their lives in World War II, looks like. And never forget. The Italian who went to Malta.
Brilliant.
Oh, one day I'm going to go to Malta to a big hotel. So it's all about not being able to understand the Italian. It's a classic story. I can't really
amazing.
read it here, but here's some little walkways and alleyways between buildings in Gozo. Just an amazing place. There's an old church. It's the inside of the old church. Very nice. Great ceiling. Great detail, right? Everything. There's the sky. Loaves and fishes, baby. Loaves and fishes. Here's the Citadel. Can you believe my friends didn't want to go in here? I was like, we got to go in here. What are you talking about? Like, we could climb up there. We're going to be able to see everything. And yeah, then, I convinced them. We went inside. It was free. There's a church inside. Look at that. Inside of the Citadel. I look at my friends in the silhouette photos there. Taking care of them, man. And, yeah, there's the sun there. There's an old clock, kind of. We walked the stairs up to the top, and then you could see everything. And like I said, Gozo is green. So it was a pretty neat contrast to Malta, which is very brown. So there's our friends getting their hair blown around.
Nice.
There's a cannon weathered by the water and the waves and the wind of all these years. Look at that wrecked cannon. I don't think it's.
They've got the best beaches too. They've got like mainlands. Those beaches are cool, but there's more on Gozo.
You're just selling it to me more, man. I already want to go
it.
back to Gozo. I think it would be a great place to spend a couple days just sitting around enjoying the countryside. There's all the houses below. Here's a great panorama of the Citadel from the top up there. But yeah, that's about it. That was our amazing journey to Malta, unscheduled. We weren't supposed to be there, but Adam Back needed a satellite dish, and Dan and I answered the call like heroes. What's a hero? But there you go. Looking for a good image to end on. Let's see.
Oh, I've got a few pictures that I wanted to rattle through as well about that.
Let's go to Dan.
experience.
We're heading towards the end of the show here. We've shown you guys Gozo and Malta, the incredible journey to deliver a Blockstream satellite. Just a year ago, we had that adventure. So.
Epic, and we won't be experiencing it until November by the sounds of it.
Maybe longer. Who knows?
Do you want me to? Shall I go in the sharing mode?
Go ahead, full screen, Dan. We got. Oh, I
go.
need to stop mine. Here we go. All right, try it again. See what it does.
I'm gonna share screen.
Stand by.
Which desktop? Do I just share them all? Do I just go one? Okay, desktop one. Let's give this a go. So okay, that is working. So yeah, started off with a bit of CoinFest, of course. Hodler.rocks' stuff. I'm going to slam through these because some we've seen before, but I've got some extra
Just a sec. Let me make sure we're on the right window first. So let's see.
Oh, you're on the right window?
No.
Can you see it?
Not at all.
No.
I need a minute.
What?
I need a minute. Okay, go ahead. Now it's me and Theo. You're good.
What the hell?
I need to change it on my screen too, Dan.
Oh, there you go.
All right,
So
go
you
ahead.
got So you got Theo for the this was the what they call proof of work.
Ah, yeah, proof of work. Learning about Theo's first computer there.
And yeah, we had Hodler.rocks. The artwork we saw, Not So Fast, legendary crypto miner. He did a talk as well, and yeah, I'm just so disappointed though we're not doing CoinFest this year. I was really looking forward to it. It's Not So Fast again, and Chris Cody is the I think it was the au pair of not an au pair, that's the wrong word. Ben from and all the stamps, which eventually made it to my face, most of them. Bit of Bitcoin's giving me a bit of an intro.
Yeah,
and, did a set. That was a pretty cool set. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I've just got to plug my thing on, where I did amongst many other things, Hotel Poloniex, which is about being trapped in Hotel Poloniex when Bitcoin was partying and altcoins were partying too hard, and I couldn't get out because they didn't 2FA me, and so. Welcome to the Hotel Poloniex. Not such a lovely place if they don't recognize your face, because I was waiting for the 2FA for ages. We got proof of work with Nick. The biggest, this is like the biggest, what's it called? The biggest panel I've ever seen. I think there were more people eventually added onto it. It was pretty impressive. And then, we missed out a bit of the detail. So obviously there was the Bitcoin group show because it was on a Friday night, but unfortunately,
so we did a live Bitcoin group in front of the whole audience.
I didn't make it.
Dan didn't make it. Yeah, before the show, we had to, slap Dan on the shoulder there and say, "Sorry, pal, you're just too drunk to be on this show. You're gonna have to wait till a future show." And he protested and protested and protested. Then he instantly fell down asleep in the audience. No more protestations. So.
No, my bad. But I did, and then there you go. So there's me discovering after I woke up. I think this is what happened was I fell asleep. After that, everyone was like, "Go back to the room." I went back to the room, and then I was like, "Oh my god, I'm awake again." So then I found, there's a bit of a hole
There's
there.
a satellite. Here we go. This is cool. Seeing the other side of this for me, yeah.
yeah, wait, I'm just gonna go skip because there's a few. Oh, there you go. So here's the we've got. So this was the horse. So riding the horse.
Riding the
Didn't
horse.
eat much of my dinner, unfortunately. Again, another one of me passed out. But the main thing was I'll get to that one later. The main thing was the Bitcoin flag. So I don't know if you can hear, but this is Trevor got this one, and I'm not saying I'm proud. I'm gonna take this off because I think you'll have to confirm whether the sound works. So I might do some fiddling. But can you hear this?
Can you
hear that?
So no.
No. Okay. Well, what I'll do is
It's not gonna just do your sound, dude.
I'll post it in the thing, but you don't really need to see it. I was
a
bit drunk.
Full screen would be good.
And full screen it.
There you go. Oh, play from the beginning. Oh, it's so good. People are home. So he's got like a portable fishing pole here, and he's extended the flag. And I think this is after they put you upstairs. They're like, don't worry, Tom. We put Dan to sleep. He's asleep in the room. He's fine. But you came back downstairs with the flag, and then your reign of terror began. I'm told that you went by somebody's table and like grabbed their wine, started drinking their wine, and then somebody got you beers. So you had like more beers, and we're like, no, don't give him more beers. So you like promptly started drinking them quickly, and yeah, you're just like kind of slurring your words, and still fun, still very fun.
I'm not proud, but it was quite funny. It was, I promised I won't do it again. The problem is, see, Carrie has this awful predicament where she records me every now and then when I've just had a few, and she only happens to record me when I seem to be doing something funny. So it never teaches me a lesson because like she like gets out in front of loads of people and say, look how drunk Dan got, and then she shows it to people and they're all laughing and like patting me on the back. And she's definitely she's got it pitted against her. I feel bad. So this is also another video. I think this was Joe from Bitbrum, the organizer of Bitbrum, and he caught me talking to a wall, and then you can kind of see at the end that if you listen to it, I'll put the post in there. But I say security almost got me there, and I talk to the wall, not realizing there's a wall. But then as I start walking back, the security guy then points me outside again because I promised him not to go outside. So obviously, I'm definitely gonna. That's not gonna happen much more. And there was what was the other thing? There was one more little one, the Bitcoin flag, because I just found it recently as well, and so going back to this thing, I'll show some previous examples of where we've flown the Bitcoin flag. So there's it was initially debuted at Prague for Paralelní Polnis. That was awesome. And there's Paralelní Polnis staff ironing it for me. I commandeered the flag at the Portsmouth Castle, and so it's very good for owning a castle. We also have there's another one. I think Tom, though, you've got to, if you can find it, because the sound, you can play the sound. But we then took it to Stonehenge, where we got followed by security, and then if you watch the video, eventually, almost got the flag confiscated, and they definitely weren't very happy at all. So, Tom, have you got that ready?
Let's see. I think I just went and searched it. It's actually great if you search for Stonehenge Bitcoin. It comes right up. We own that search term right there. So here it is. Mad Bitcoins and Crypto Raptor and BTC Socialist as well claim Stonehenge for Bitcoin. So there it is.
Wow.
Pretty awesome, huh? You can tell
That was
we
beautiful.
didn't have a lot of footage to work with. Pretty much the guy started getting mad at us almost immediately. And then as you can see, I'm more like casual there because I'm a visitor in the country. Dan just rushes out there and pulls it open. He's like, "Oh, we're not stopping. Like we're doing this thing." So that was our classic video of us at Stonehenge. I'll get the
just
yacht
one more-
chain
just
video now
a few
too.
more little bits that I wanted to share very quickly, just towards the end, because I'm actually really missing the fact that we should have been at a conference. So I'll do another little quick share. Am I sharing? Is that how it works?
Go ahead, you're sharing full screen. Go ahead.
Okay, there we go. So we went to just slightly before Stonehenge, but after we got back from Malta, we went to Bristol, where Tom and Ben formed a band, an 80s electro band.
Yeah.
And
Liam.
And then had a few beers. It was pretty good with Liam and Tom from the Breaking Bitcoin, not Breaking Bitcoin documentary. I can't remember what it's called now. It's not out though. I know that. We went to Stonehenge, where there was another band form, which was some sort of hillbilly, I don't know, country band. Maybe
that's our second album there. Definitely second album cover. Yeah.
Good old Stonehenge, being trailed by security. Bitcoin flag, which I found again, and here's us with the flag. And then, very quickly, saw this actually. So this was just around the time frame, just after I got back. Zuby, who actually lives in Southampton, he's being blown up pretty big recently. He was on like Joe Rogan and co. And yeah, he literally lives just down the road from me. Tom and I visited. That's Alice in Wonderland's grave, the original lady that Lewis Carroll. And we went and saw another castle. Forgot the Bitcoin flag though, but saw some cannons and stuff.
Calshot Castle.
Then we went to remember this, Tom? This was the Bitcoin
radio building. Yeah.
Yeah, but was it Bitcoin Pizza Day? It was like the bit last year.
Oh yeah, it was Pizza Day. I think we went to the Bitcoin meetups and stuff in London. Definitely.
Yeah. Went to the mission at the end, did a bit of a museum tour where they taught us a bit about the anonymity of banknotes. And then obviously
getting ready.
Then tokens with Bitcoin codes. And then I think this is a cool picture. It's the old school shiznit with a nice little Bitcoin wearer there right in the middle, bang in the middle.
British Museum, yeah.
I just had to stick this in here because this is what we deal with in English tabloids. Is I stuck 9 cream eggs up my bum. I'm not sure what that's an Easter egg world record, so I'm not sure whether they're gonna. Oh, that's Dave. I forgot to take that out. That's my dog wagging his tail. I'm very sorry, guys. He's a lovely dog, really. That's how cool the flag is. Get yourself one. It fits in your average backpack. I've taken it through loads of airport security. They're totally cool with it. That was when I got my noddle, and instead of watching it sink faster, I got more enjoyment out of plugging myself in and watching it sink. And that was an amazing noddle. I recently got the Samurai as well. I'm wrapping up really quickly because it was that was it. That was wrapping at the Big Bitcoin Pizza Party at the Lightning Place. The I can't remember what it is, but it's the Bitcoin Lightning Place. This is also this is a bit of Grey's Anatomy. The reason why this is in here, Bitcoin related. Doesn't this guy look like Mark Capellas? Definitely looks like him, I swear. Anyway, moving swiftly on. So the most uneventful. So I'll cover the second half in another show, maybe when we get bored of talking about the politics part. But so this on here, this screen is this was June the 13th, and it was I had a few drinks. We were in town in London and went to Andreas talking at Coin Scrum. If you're ever in London, you've got to go to a Coin Scrum. They're amazing. And I decided to. He was doing an upvote thing, and I'm not sure you can kind of reach this, but I thought I'd do a bit of light, funny trolling, and so I wrote a few of the things and then phone people and text them to get to upvote them. And he was pretty pissed off when he saw that. I also had it trend. Is XRP really the standard? Trended for quite a while. Eventually, it got taken off the screen. But the most amazing thing was. This is it. Waffle over. I got back home at midnight. My girlfriend was like, "Oh, I'm very heavily pregnant," and we're like, "Oh, shit." She thought something was wrong, and we were crapping ourselves. But no, I managed to stay up briefly all night, and then had a little sun. And there you go. That's the end of that. Concluded the first 6 months of stuff, because for last year. So we'll cover the second lot of conferences, I reckon, another time. Oh, and so the one last thing, little preview of something I'm making as well. This is a remix of the Indiana Jones thing with 1,000 Bitcoin original Cassasius that I don't have, of course, but I really wish I did. It's not very amazing yet. It's getting there, but there's going to be like buildings crumbling around eventually, and then there's going to be like, they're going to have bank names on them, and there's going to be all sorts of crazy stuff. So keep an eye out for that. I also did a bog roll version, but it didn't go down so well, as it were, and the plunger wouldn't help it. So that's my waffle. But thanks very much for that. It was an amazing time though, wasn't it, Tom? It was just there was just
last year,
cool conferences, and
traveling the world, doing the Bitcoin thing, and it wasn't the first time that Dan and I had been in Malta together. So we're going to show you our video from 2018. This is Lifestyles of the Rich and Blockchain, the world's first appearance of Yacht Chain ever.
Of the rich, lifestyles of the rich and blockchain. Your loss is their gain. They're always blockchaining. If databases are such a problem, well, they got a token, and we're gonna solve them. Yeah.
Good morning, Bitcoin. We're live from the Malta Blockchain Summit in Malta. As you can see down below, we have part of the main exhibition floor where thousands of exhibitors are waiting to sell you hundreds of ICOs. Literally everything from blockchain to yacht chain to sock chain. It's all available on the chain here in Malta. Good morning, Bitcoin. We're live from the Malta Blockchain Summit, joined by Baron Dan, the Crypto Raptor. How's it going, Dan? Any word on those new sponsorships?
It's totally fantastic. I mean, we've raised 52 million in 2 days. We raised 50 million on the first day and decided to just go to the beach instead.
It's so much easier to raise money when you're at the beach. People can just keep donating, and we just keep printing the tokens, and they just keep donating. It's been fantastic.
It has been fantastic. And whilst we were there, we got also some funding for Yacht Chain, which is a perfectly fine yacht chain, a chain for your yachts on the blockchain. So we called it the Yacht Chain. And
a lot of Bitcoin people and blockchain people, especially Ethereum people, they have this problem. You have too many yachts. I just have so many boats in so many countries. I can barely keep track of them. Sometimes, one time, I hate to tell you, but the servants ran off with a yacht for more than 3 weeks, and I had no idea where that boat was. How will Yacht Chain solve my problems?
Well, the specific type of chain that's used for Yacht Chain is heavy. It's a strong chain. Some say it's the best chain. And
it's made out of metal.
It's made out of metal, and it keeps the yachts together. And that way they can't be stolen. They can't be stolen by servants. They can't be stolen by the captain.
And if I have 2 yachts, say, in a different harbor, one in London, one in Malta, could you use a longer chain to connect the 2?
Oh, our chains are the longest in the world. That's why we receive so much funding and so quickly.
So it's the longest chain, it's the heaviest chain, and it solves all your yacht-related problems. It's Yacht Chain. Where can people learn more about Yacht Chain?
If they go to yachtchain.com and check out our fundraising page, they can give us more money.
Oh, I've just received a notice on my watch. We raised $3 more million. We're up to $55 million for Yacht Chain. Thank you so much for donating. Be sure to follow the links in the description below.
Yachtchain.com.
Blockchain.
Blockchain. Blockchain.
All right. It's all right. That's okay. We just like to talk to you. We don't work here. Hello. Would you like to tell us about Fast Token? Is it really fast?
It is really, really fast. Should be very fast. That's the point.
No, nothing.
We're joined once again by Baron Dan, the Crypto Raptor, and I'm told we have another update about our new sponsor. Previously, we told you about Yacht Chain. Yacht Chain is yesterday's news. It's old business. What have you got for us today, Dan?
Today we'll be talking about sock chain. Everyone's had that time in their lives when they've lost socks. Socks seem to be the most common thing that people lose, and so we thought, why not put them on the blockchain?
And with SockChain, I'll finally be able to stop losing my socks. How will that work? What kind of technologies do you use at SockChain?
Well, we have washing machine integration, so actually all the socks can be washed whilst remaining on chain, on the chain, as they say.
And what kind of chains do you use at SockChain? Is it Ethereum based?
It's actually Smerium based. It's the smeariest chain that we have and we could find, and we use instead of gas, we use ass.
It's perfectly recyclable, it's good for the environment, and it helps you stop that horror of losing socks. SockChain. Check it out at sockchain.com.
Sockchain.com.
Good morning, Bitcoins. We're live from the Malta Blockchain Summit in Malta. We're joined by Queen from Yacht Chain. How's it going, Queen?
It's going well.
Now, I understand at Yacht Chain, you solve a real-world problem using the blockchain. I myself, several other Bitcoiners and Ethereum heads have a problem of too many yachts. One time, my servants ran off with a boat for several months. It was tough. I had to use one of the smaller boats.
You can't find good servants nowadays, right?
It's very difficult. I put the servants on Servant Chain, but that's a different video. Now, how can you solve the problem of people who have too many yachts and don't know how to store them?
You see, the thing is, I had so many yachts. I used to store them just regularly, just put them there. And someday I said, why not build the chain for my yachts so they can be all together, And I talked to some people and we decided to make this project. It became a huge thing because there's so many people in the world that need to put their yachts together so that they're very well located, So I made it happen, and we have so many people interested in it now. It's a huge project.
Now, previously when I talked to Dan, he said that at Yacht Chain they have some of the longest chains, some of the strongest chains, and that it would be a great solution for my yachts. But I have some very nice yachts. I'm not just looking for your average run-of-the-mill chain. Do you have any better options than just simply a silver or a steel chain?
Of course. I always said this is a good way to solve the problem. They're very strong chains. Servants can't really run away with your yachts, which is a very good thing.
Even the captain himself can't get away with my yacht once it's on Yacht Chain.
Of course, yeah. So at some point it was a good project, but at some point I was like, you know what? I'm going to build a gold chain for my yachts.
Gold.
Gold was good. it was interesting. People started to get interested in it.
It's a little malleable, but very shiny.
And it's so gold.
Especially after Trump. He just makes everything gold. No one really wants to be associated with that color or even that metal anymore.
Extremely tacky, So we decided to make different ways of doing this. We started adding diamonds to it,
Very classy.
And we added the white gold to it.
Much better than normal gold, much like white chocolate. It's just so seasonal, yeah?
Exactly. So then we started adding sapphires and rubies, and it became a whole thing. And now we have a new thing.
You have a new thing at Yacht Chain. You're going to announce it right here. This is an exclusive for the World Crypto Network audience who is very interested in Yacht Chain.
This is a huge announcement. So not only do we have gold chains, not only do we have white gold chains with diamonds and rubies, now we have everything together. It's the ruby, diamond, sapphire chain for your yachts, so your servants can't run away with them.
I'm completely sold. I'm signing up right now. Before I was on the fence thinking, should I go with a generic yacht chain or should I go with a gold one or silver? There are a lot of choices for me to make, but now I'm ready to buy.
That was a huge problem. Oh, what? We have a new $10 million contribution to Yacht Chain. Guys, this is a huge announcement. Now you can have your chain for your yachts at a reduced price. Well, not really, because who wants a reduced price for the...
I want to pay more.
You want to pay more, right? Exactly. So this is just for me. But you guys can pay extra for your chains, and we'll welcome you into our bosom.
And where can people learn more about Yacht Chain?
Well, I mean, you have to be in the inner club. You can't really just know.
There's no yachtchain.com.
Exactly. You can't do that because then real people can't really get into it. So you have to know someone in the inner circle, and they'll introduce you to me, and then we can start making business together.
So talk to your friends, help solve their yacht problems with Yacht Chain. Thank you so much, Queen.
No problem.
Blockchain. Good morning, Bitcoin. We are live once more from the Malta Blockchain Summit in Malta. We're joined by Dan, who's going to sing the theme song for Lifestyles of the Rich and Blockchain.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Tom.
How's it going, Dan?
It's great, thanks, Tom.
Have you enjoyed the Blockchain Malta conference?
Oh, it's been absolutely amazing. Full of blocks, socks, and as most crypto conferences are, full of cocks. No.
And as everyone's heard, we've closed the ICO round for Yacht Chain. We raised $142 million. We had to turn people away and tell them that we're no longer taking any investments of any kind for Yacht Chain. That's right, we're completely sold out.
Sold out. Private pre-sale sold out. Full sale sold out. I don't think we can even print enough tokens to be able to sell them because
you might even call us sellouts. But for Yacht Chain, we'll do anything. It's such a useful project. I've used it twice just today.
We've had some really good feedback about the length of the Yacht Chain, about how secure it is. It's the securest of chains because each block for the blockchain of the Yacht Chain has a lock on it. So there's a lock on the block for the Yacht Chain.
Lock Chain. It's a very efficient project. And I think we're about to head towards the end of this conference. This is going to be our last interview. People are flocking to us. It must be the hat. It must be the glasses. Maybe it's the beard. But we have one last thing to tell you about Lifestyles of the Rich and Blockchain.
Lifestyles of the rich and blockchain. They're always blockchaining. Your loss is their gain. If tokens are such a problem, why don't, oh wait, I've completely fucked up.
Why don't you solve them?
No, wait, okay, can I have to start again, aren't I?
You can try it.
Oh god, yeah, okay.
It'll be recorded though.
It is, what, all of it?
All right,
okay,
go
here we go.
ahead.
Lifestyles of the rich and blockchain. Your loss is their gain. They're always blockchaining. If databases are such a problem, well, they got a token, and we're gonna solve them.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Epic. Just a quick one on that shot with the flag. We were on my uncle's little boat, and he took us out for a little trip, and suddenly he looked like he shit his pants, and the sail had snapped, and like we started leaning, and we were banking so hard, it was hilarious. Like we were literally holding on for dear life as like, and the thing was wet. We had to keep on ducking because it was flying everywhere. We just about made it back, but yeah, great little trip.
Yeah, it was amazing. We actually, like Dan's saying, we actually shot that sailboat footage. This is all our footage from Malta that we shot.
Oh god, yeah, okay.
It'll be on his uncle's sailboat. We'll play it just again here at the end. But yeah, look at that. Actual Malta sailboat footage, spared no expense. No expense. But yeah, it was a great trip to Malta. Classic time. Shout out to Queenie in that video. We met her at the convention. She did a great job. She was just hilarious. Agreed with everything. Had the right kind of luxury attitude to really promote Yacht Chain. So it was great to have her there. Also great to have Dan there. We worked on a lot of lines and stuff. We tried to make this like our Ali G. It was pretty funny. And then later on, if you guys search into the archives for Yacht Chain, we did a whole bunch more interviews at Tone's conference last year in Las Vegas. So there are some more Yacht Chain interviews out there. You can watch people be confused about the strongest and the longest chain and how we're going to connect all the yachts together. But that's about it for this quick update episode. We told you the epic history of Dan and I delivering the Blockstream satellite to Malta. Maybe next time we'll get Adam back on here, and we'll talk to Adam about how epic and legendary we are. And I'm sure he'll agree. I'm sure he'll be like, I was mentioned in the white paper by Satoshi Nakamoto, but I never traveled from Manchester to Malta to deliver a satellite dish. So pretty cool stuff. So thanks to everybody who gave us a thumbs up and a share, everybody who donated and joined us in the chat, and everybody who joined us later on. Shout out to people who are still giving us comments. That's great to get comments. We had a nice comment yesterday all the way from Spain. They're even enjoying this show in Madrid, where I want to go because they have the Sorolla Museum, and I only got a small taste of Sorolla in Ireland, and now I've got the drive. I want to see some more Sorollas, but then again, no one can travel, blah, blah, blah. We almost avoided that damn thing for like 30 minutes. So thanks so much to watching our fun show. Join us again in about 2 hours, 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be doing the Bitcoin Group. It's our weekly roundup of the news with a great cast of characters and so on and so forth. So join us for the Bitcoin Group, just a few more hours. Until next time, bye-bye.